It's going well. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. Um, Going good today. Everything going good?
Everything's going very good. Yeah, very long day, but good day nevertheless. I can't complain. How about
Oh
yourself?
yeah, 100%. Yeah, it was storming here, storming bad.
Was it?
Yeah, getting back home from church was crazy. It was a ride.
Yeah, that's we're still dealing with a lot of ice blockage out where we're at. So actually, I think two roads on the way to church were blocked just because ice was like massive.
Wow.
All ice was just in the road.
Oh wow. Yeah, that's insane. Yeah, here too. Something was closed. We all had to go merge on one lane, and had to get on another lane. I was in traffic for like 30 minutes. It was bad. I was so mad. But
Yeah,
yeah, man. I've smelled just to, I guess, kind of switching the topic. I smelled Saint Seraphim's Stone. Man, this one's good. This one, I still have the strip right here. It's strong.
thank you. Yeah, it should be pretty strong. Yeah.
Man, it is strong. I smell. Is there a ladanum in it?
There's no labdanum in it. Actually, that one is one of the few fragrances that I've made that is almost all. Um, it's pretty small. It's like less than 10 ingredients that are in it. They're all biblical ingredients. Actually, they're all things that you can find in the Bible. So
Oh wow.
there's like hyssop is a big note in there.
Oh yeah.
You've got a decent amount of oud that's hanging out in there. Acacia wood.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, definitely.
yeah, Yeah, a lot of they're kind of interesting notes. Not too many people, I think, are very familiar with Casia or hyssop.
Mhm.
Um, and these were ingredients that I got into early on, so at least that I could have an olfactory context for what's taking place biblically.
Yeah. To be like, oh, okay, so this is kind of smell it. Be like, okay, this is kind of yeah, what's going on? Yeah, that's cool, dude.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, it's like the oud that's in there is a Thai oud currently in the batch that you have. I don't think I've ever changed that, but I'm just for posterity's sake, it's a Thai oud currently.
Okay.
Uh, it's got a little bit more of like it's a little more delicate, a little more gentle than a lot of the other ouds are. So it's got a little more of kind of like a fruity
Mhm.
taste, but like a fruity edge to it. So I tried to keep it a little bit lighter with the kind of the heaviness of the spice,
Mhm.
the acacia wood and things like that.
Oh yeah, yeah. I definitely got that. That wouldn't. I don't know why I got like an oregano vibe, kind
Yeah.
of. That's what I got.
Partially the hyssop. Yeah, the hyssop has this kind of a nice herbal bite to it. It's
Yeah.
cinnamon actually, but there's it's like kind of like a cinnamon lavender thing, but there's you
Mm.
you have these cooking spices that hang out at the top edge of the hyssop that they're really pretty by themselves. You can wear hyssop probably by itself, but
Uh
some
huh.
actually toxic, so you got to be kind of careful what you're
Oh
doing.
yeah. Yeah, 100%. And I what do you call it? Yeah, that's the only one I smelled. I wanted to smell more, but I was like, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna just wait
Hmm.
and smell the others. So yeah, the only one I've smelled so far is Saint Seraphim Stone.
Hmm.
This one. If you guys want to check it out, you in the chat. I'm not ignoring you in the chat. I see it, but I'm kind of busy. I don't, I'm chatting, But I see you guys. I see you, Jason. I see you, Lydia, Cologne Connoisseur. They're the regulars, just to kind of give you an overview. Regulars are always here. um, but yeah, let's see. Which one should I go to next? I'm gonna just kind of go blindly,
Yeah.
choose it. Give me a little backstory. You
Well, that's
know.
good. Yeah.
Okay, let me just grab one. Okay, I got Truth and Method.
Aha. Truth and method. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That's yeah. The original inspiration for that came with kind of the idea of trying to actually make a fruity oud that worked really well. Um, I spent
Mm,
probably the better part of 7 or 8 months trying really to get this banana accord down. That is one of the dominant notes in the fragrance. Um,
mm.
it's so far it is one out of three fruit accords that have really been are very difficult to try to construct in a way that smelled like the fruit and also not not annoying and repulsive to wear
Oh,
because you wear a lot of you smell a lot of the fruity fragrances that kind of are really recommended out there in the fragrance world, and a lot of them kind of smell cheap or
yeah,
they're very violently synthetic, and you're like dying to get them off of your skin.
yeah, yeah, 100%. So
So
this is kind of a more smooth around the edges type of kind of take.
yeah, on the fruity oud, a lot of strong real oud hanging out in there. Uh,
Mhm.
I think in the final breakdown of the composition, the real oud is I think 16 or 17% of the total composition, so it's pretty high amount.
Oh yeah.
There
Okay.
synthetic notes in there that are trying to help elevate some of the oud up, so folks can smell it a little bit stronger. But there's a lot of real oud hanging out right in there. Yeah, it's
Okay.
oud that's in there is a Vietnamese oud too, so it's a little bit of kind of a smoky edge to it. That's really really works well with the fruit. I found that's what helped me to kind of really start not uh, not approaching it from the kind of sweet tropical nightmare that a lot of folks envision fruity notes to be, and really start kind of giving more thought to the way that it could be composed. There's even in the niche world, there's some folks like Roja Dove or whomever that have a tendency to try to do all these zany things with oud.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
I'm not convinced if you listen to some of the interviews that Raja's done. I'm not convinced he's ever smelled real oud a day in his life. So
Uh,
kind of hard to tell if marketing directors are having a field day with just coming up with zany shit for him or what. But
yeah.
tried pretty hard to keep it away from the zaniness and actually make it a worthwhile experience.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't put it past him that maybe he's never smelled real oud, and it's kind of surprising. He's so successful, one of the top, and it's just never smelled real oud. You would think, right? You would think, oh man, this guy's his nose is it's been everywhere.
Yeah, you would certainly think. I mean, maybe he has, and maybe it was just a couple days of smelling one type of oud and thought, okay, I get it. It's kind of maybe he was smelling some super soaked
Yeah,
stuff and thought, ah, yeah, it just smells like a cow pasture or whatever, and you're like,
yeah,
I guess.
yeah, yeah. Like sure, I mean, but yeah, I'm gonna give it let's spray it. Let's give it a whiff. Let's see. All right, two sprays. Yeah, because we all have different noses. Let's see what I pick up, and then you tell me if I'm dumb or not. So.
Yeah, no, I won't tell you you're dumb, but I'll see what you have to say.
Yeah. Okay. I kind of smell it in the air. Let's see. Ooh, okay. This is good. I feel like this is a more mass appealing kind of scent, I'd say.
Hmm, hmm.
Definitely, I get like a tea vibe,
Yeah, I can see that.
like a ginger tea, ginger lemon tea, woody. Mm. Oh, this is good. It reminds me of Cedrat Boisé by Mancera.
Oh, hey, nice. Yeah,
Yeah,
I I get what you're saying about the more mass appealing thing. Some of the compositions that I have are a little bit more on the
yeah.
extreme edge,
Arts.
and some are trying to give people a little bit more of a
Yeah.
higher appealing composition. Nice.
Yeah, like yes, these are like I'd say describers as very niche, artsy type of not mass appealing. Not everyone is gonna. You have to really like certain things,
Mm,
very niche. But this one I'd say is more mass appealing. Like more people, average person would be like, okay, you smell good.
yeah, yeah.
They won't be terrified. They won't be like, whoa. Yeah, yeah, I get that. Let me see. I have it right here. I have some board thing. A little similar, even in the juice color.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, not saying you were trying to copy it or anything, but it's just a little. Yeah. But that's cool, man. Yeah, that's really yeah. Because this one has leather in it. It's lemon and leather, and this one oud, very fruity tea like. Oh yeah, I like that. This is a
Oh,
very
good.
yeah, another very good one. I'll be honest. I will be. Will
Yeah,
be.
I would expect nothing more, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
The ingredient breakdown for the Truth and Method, I think, is one out of two compositions that I have that is over 55 ingredients
Oh.
for the total thing. So it's pretty. It's funny. I read somebody said on a Fragrantica review of one of my compositions. I don't remember which one it was, but they said, "Oh, this smells great, but there's no need to have this many notes in there."
Mm.
They're like, "Ah, anything would smell good with this many notes in there. That's cheating or whatever." And it's like, I hope the person who wrote that, I'm half like I half expect them to have been joking because really, even with the most simple compositions, when people put the note breakdowns, a lot of times the composition, yes, is like 30 plus ingredients that actually make that up. A lot of times the jasmine is, 7 or 8 different actual ingredients that are making that jasmine accord appear, really. So
Yeah.
who
So they
knows?
kind of just count that as one, but it's no many more things. Or they might have actual jasmine, but they have other like synthetics that kind of help it give it some type of feel or sparkle or something, you know?
Yeah, yeah, and some people, if they're interested in trying to say, "Oh, like I'm a niche brand," they'll break that up, and so there'll be a lemony, jasminy note, and they'll say, "Oh, this is lemon," and then they'll say, "There's also real jasmine in here." So
Mhm.
some people like, the great perfumer Prinlim Rose. He's one of my all-time favorites, and I think for his compositions, that's exactly what he does. I mean, all of his compositions have like like a 50 note breakdown, and it's like,
Oh yeah.
well, I think a lot of that. I don't think there's like absolutes of patchouli and everything else in there, but
Yeah.
surely there are some. I mean, he's a genius, so
Yeah, he knows what he's doing. And I would think too that like if there's more notes, more like ingredients in a perfume, it would just make it even harder. It wouldn't be you're cheating. It would be like,
yeah,
okay, you're skilled, you know
yeah,
what you're doing.
yeah. To make it all work in harmony, it's a lot more difficult. Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah. So it's just like, you're kind of backwards. You kind of.
yeah. Yeah, whereas something like Baccarat Rouge 540, I think, I mean, the overall composition of that, I would be startled if that was over 10 ingredients. I mean, that's a really kind of minimal composition.
Yeah.
Uh, but most perfumes, I would say, are not like that. Most,
Yeah.
not all.
Really. Yeah. One is like Davidoff. They always have like two, three ingredients. Davidoff cool water is like,
Sure.
yeah, there's nothing in those, but they're good.
Yeah, I'm a fan of Cool Water. Yeah, I think that one, goes back to even, my middle school, high school days. It's a masterpiece,
Oh
gorgeous.
yeah, classic, timeless. Yeah, I'm thinking about picking up a bottle really just to have it because I have this whole collection, so I
Yeah.
might as well. Yeah, but okay. Next, I'm gonna go with Adam's Lament. The color really got me.
Hey, yeah, Adam's Lament is so that is a lot of pepper and a lot of vanilla. But the vanilla that's in there is a lot of times people will call vanilla fragrances vanilla if you have anything tangentially related, and most oftentimes it's vanilla and crystals that they'll be referring to.
Oh yeah, I have
It-
some.
yeah, yeah,
Some right
yeah,
here.
yeah, and that's like
Mhm.
that tends to smell more like the kind of sweetened vanilla ice cream kind of
Yeah.
note. So in Adam's Lament, there are 6 different kinds of vanilla beans that were imported, and then I kind of I tinctured, macerated the composition, the final composition in those tinctures. So a lot of what you have going on in there for vanilla is a lot more of the strict. You've just cracked open a vanilla bean, and you get those like dense black particles that really have a kind of like a pseudo vegetal, pseudo spice aroma to them. That's kind of the base part of Adam's Lament. And then up at the top, there's kind of a lot of different varieties of pink, black, and red pepper that are all kind of sparkling up there. And there's other things that are going on in the composition as well, but those are really basically kind of the two core elements that I wanted to bring out. Excuse me, first and foremost. Uh, Vanilla compositions never really have been my thing, and I really like vanilla beans. I've cooked with them a lot before and just kind of
Mhm.
had them around. And in pastries and things of this sort, where you actually use real vanilla bean, I find that aroma to really be tugging at my heart. So I kind of wanted to come up with something where let's get away from the vanilla and crystals, let's get away from the kind of cutesy mall fragrances, and let's come up with something that's actually representative of one of the most beloved spices of all time, actual raw vanilla.
Yeah, go back to the actual thing. Yeah, I've seen things in a book. It's called The Alchemy of Scent. I have it, and
Nice.
yeah, I have that book, and it talks about like smelling actual things, and just going back to it. Like, okay, we're smelling this, but like for example, we're smelling like maybe like a chord of vanilla, but like try smelling actual vanilla so you can kind of see what you're trying to reference it off. So you actually smelled it, you know?
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
like, yeah, it's just like with music. Go listen to a live band and then come to the studio and then you'll really see like, okay, yeah, it's just like that.
Yeah. 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 There's a company that I'm working for here in St. Louis, fairly large, prestigious company, and they have a lot of their. I'm working on putting together a fragrance installation for them, and they have access to a lot of actual plants, raw plants and trees and things of this nature. So a lot of times when I'm composing things for them, that's what I'll do is I'll take my leave for the day and head down there and smell a lot of the things and write, take notes and take some samples and stuff with me that I've been working on and kind of smell them one to the other and see what it is that I'm missing because it reveals itself pretty clearly. Like, if you're working on a gardenia accord, for instance, which is one that I did for them, uh, smelling the real gardenia, one of the things that struck me is kind of the creamy mushroom base of the gardenia that I wasn't really fully capturing, and so I had to kind of make notes about that mushroom. I'm not really thinking about that when I'm smelling gardenia, so I had to go back to the office and really hammer out this kind of base of the gardenia accord and make it a lot more fleshed out.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I see what you mean there. You really had to, what do you call it? Like just get a sense of smell,
Mm,
basically. Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of what I've been trying to want to do, but I'm very limited to access to things. So yeah, but do with what you can. All right,
Mm.
give it a whiff. Let's see.
All right, Adam.
It sounds very intriguing, really.
Well, good.
Yeah, it does. Ah,
Yeah, based
okay.
on the great Lenten hymn and poems that we have about uh, Adam kind of thinking over what had happened after he was expelled from the garden, and
Oh yeah.
Saint Sophrony wrote a variation that was really great. And
Hmm. Oh yeah, Saint Sophrony. I gotta like look into him. I've heard his name just get thrown everywhere. I gotta his life and everything.
mm,
Okay, this smells like a. I get that pepper. You get pepper. You get
yeah,
you get pepper. A
yeah,
lot of black pepper.
mm,
Hmm. Okay, this smells like a. Hmm. I don't want to say it's not gourmand. That's sweet, but it's like in a space of food.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's
That's
definitely in that world. It's in that world of food.
nailed it. Yeah, you've nailed it. I didn't want to fully go gourmand. Yeah, so you're spot on. But
Yeah.
foodie.
Yeah, foodie, food, not foodie, foodie. It's like food. It's
Yeah,
in the food space. Yeah,
yeah,
it's yeah, it's what this smells like. It smells like pepper on like pasta or chicken or something. Like I don't want to say it smells like chicken, but it smells like in that space. You
yeah.
know.
There's a composition actually that I really love from Vogue. Uh,
Mhm.
Antonio Gardoni did this thing maybe 4 or 5. No, it had to be longer than that. Maybe 7 years ago or something like this. It's called. Ooh, it is escaping my mind. I can go grab the bottle. But
You can if you want.
uh, yeah, it's the funny thing about it. I'll tell you. I'll go grab it though. But I'll tell you. Oh, Noun. That's what it's called. Noun.
Oh, noun.
When yeah, it it was a limited edition, and I kind of understand why. It has like mustard seed as one of the primary notes, and I explained it to my friend who's not into fragrance. I said this smells like the most artisanal like chunk of salami that you've ever had in your life. He goes,
Yeah.
that smells like salami, and I'm like, no, seriously. So I sprayed it on a strip, and he smelled it, and he looked right at me, and he's like, yeah, that's a really nice piece of salami. I don't know if I'd wear that.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I don't want to. I don't know if I want to smell like salami. I don't know if I want to smell, but it's cool though. Really, this I don't think I'd wear,
Mm,
but I like I can appreciate what it is. You know what I mean?
sure.
Like you definitely nailed it in terms of that like food space,
Mm,
peppery. I'll come back to it when it dries down more, but that is really good. It's already kind of dried down, but yeah, it's like really peppery. Really, I just get pepper. I can't really decipher. My nose isn't really trained like that either, like yours. So I wouldn't be able to be like, oh, this much percentage of this, or like,
sure.
But
Yeah. Yeah, maybe
but
once I dry down a little bit, because that composition and desert water, both of those were
mm,
my first experiments with actually tincturing things on my own. You know, getting a kit and having
yeah.
all set up for uh, tincturing these materials that I was sourcing, and um, the amount of times I had to filter those fragrances after,
Mhm.
because it's like there's so small particulates that were and some folks still say the desert water. I've gotten reports back when folks are wearing it that they say it leaves stickiness on their skin because of still how thick the material is for it. That it's
Oh yeah,
like an oil. It's like in a tar.
yeah.
So I
I mean,
tried.
that's good. They can't complain about performance, can they? Like, there's
Yeah,
no complaints. Yeah, that's why I made my dilutions 20%
mm,
because I really want to do strong things. I want like mines to be strong. I don't want them to be like performance sucks. It smells good, but performance is the problem. You
yeah,
know, I want that. Except there's some that I'm like I said like last time I was like, I think I should kind of tone some down, but I can like dilute them more if I ever like start creating, composing something. I could just dilute them down from 20.
sure, yeah, easy enough.
Yeah, so I'm just bad at math, so that's something I really have to like pinpoint. Like, there's my
Yeah,
weakness.
yeah. I think like a lot of the people that I really got super deep into, like Sultan Pasha Atars and Agar Ara and Elixir Atar. A lot of these folks are doing extreme concentrations as well. And so, I mean, in Sultan Pasha's case, they're just pure oil. But
Yeah.
like some of the bottles I have from Agarara, you can flip the bottle around to see the oil and tilt it, and you can see the clouds swell from all the raw material that's just at the bottom because it's unfiltered, thick, just
Oh wow.
fragrance.
Yeah, that's something I don't even know how to apply that because I feel like it just stain my clothes. Just
Yeah, yeah.
that's something you just kind of put on skin, just kind of rub on.
Mhm.
That's really all. Okay, I'm gonna move to another one. Let me.
Yes, sir.
I really want to make it as random as possible. Okay, we got monoliths and dimensions.
Monoliths and Dimensions. Yeah, that's one of the oldest compositions that I've got. It's the one that actually has still been the best selling from the start. It's based off of a Sun record. Some people call them Sun O, but the band name is Sun, and then it's SUNN. It's got a circle and then a bunch of brackets after it because it's actually well. Hold on, I'll just show you. It's
Okay.
named after the band is named after a amplifier model, so
Uh,
that's their name. And the record is it's a drone metal record, so it's a lot of really low frequencies and a lot of really intense bass in the
mhm.
song. And so the fragrance Monoliths and Dimensions was kind of an experiment of only using bass notes to try to represent kind of the musical approach that they take.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's okay. So yeah, you took the same approach. Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. So I would imagine this is gonna be very strong. I would. It's only bass notes.
yeah.
Okay.
They're a huge musical influence for me. Sun is
Okay. I have to
uh,
check them out.
yeah, they're amazing. They're very strange. They show up on stage with black hoods and tons of smoke and walls of amplifiers, and there's no drums or anything. It's just big swelling,
It's just vroom, vroom.
pretty much. Yeah,
Your hair is just flying back. You're just
body's vibrating. You're just
yeah. It's like, oh, this is great. This is good right here. All right, let's give it a spray. Let's see. Uh-oh. I don't want it to be. Which way is it? Oh, I got on my finger. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Well, that's gonna be there forever. There you go. Okay. Ooh, okay. This smells like a. I like this. I'm a fan of this. Okay. Off the rip. It reminds me of a Tom Ford, but I can't pinpoint exactly. It doesn't smell exactly like Tom Ford, but it reminds me. It's in that same, like, I guess, cousin family.
Sure.
Yeah. Is it Beau de Jour? I don't know. It's a very fougere type of fragrance, Beau de Jour.
Mm-hmm.
This one is like very herbaceous, I'd say, kind of. Oody. I get oud. Is there oud in this?
There's a decent amount. It's a Chinese oud in there, which
Oh.
the kind that I used, the Chinese oud that I used in there has a strong tea feeling to the top of the oud. There's a the Chinese oud that I used. It's from Rising Phoenix. They're one of the two Chinese ouds that I've loved the most in my entire life came from them, and that's where I started the composition on that. Is I want to make something
Mm.
around this oud. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's just so gorgeous.
Oh yeah, it does. It does a small. Is that oud a little smoky? You would
Yeah.
say like
Yep. Yeah. And
I'd get. Yeah,
there's
I
a
get
lot.
smoky vibes.
Yep.
I get like a smoky feel, like a woody, smoky, kind of like herby type of feel. I like this. This is like in my kind of wheelhouse. I like that.
Hey, I'm thrilled.
Yeah, because if like you would imagine, you would say because like my favorite is Alexandra 2 by Zhirjov. Everybody knows it. Whoever watches it, it's rose and oud incense. This is my favorite fragrance ever. So it could change today. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. But this is good. I like this. This is good. It's
Wow.
yeah. Monoliths and dimensions. I see why you get pretty good feedback from this. Yeah, I
Yeah,
see.
it's
Okay.
that record. Yeah, that record is something else. So the cover of the record is basically like it's a painting that one of the artists on the
Mhm.
album did, and it's like just a black hole that's kind of gray on the edges, and it's
Okay.
performances are like that too. I mean, very, like I said, very tons of smoke, tons of fog, just rising everywhere, and you barely see their outlines of the figures just slamming these massive chords in between the walls of fog. It's there's
Oh, that's cool.
there's something else.
Let me look at what Sun. Oh, I see him. Oh, yeah, I see him on stage. It looks like a music video. It looks like a.
Yeah, yeah, their live shows are just unlike
Yeah,
anything.
yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I think. What is your band name? I don't know. Like, what do you?
So I'm doing in two bands right now. One of the bands is called The Language of Birds. We don't have full records anywhere online, but there's some of our stuff online currently. And then the other band I'm in right now is called Men Behind the Sun, and
Mm,
it's like more of an experimental, kind of noisy, experimental stuff. I don't know. The Language of Birds is like jazzy post rock, and then the
okay.
Men, the other extreme, of much more noisy, chaotic, dark kind of stuff.
Oh
And
yeah.
I've done a lot of records, under my own name, Weston Adam, and then I was with a black metal outfit for a little while called Deus Upvolt, and we did three or two or three projects together that was really fun. Was a part of a big collective that did an electronic record called Mega Alexandros, after Alexander the Great, and
Mm,
I just love music. What can I say?
yeah. I mean, if you like it, you just might as well just do something. Yeah. That's cool, man. I remember when I was younger, I used to want to be in a band and everything, but I never knew how to play any instruments. But I just wanted to be in a band. So
Yeah,
yeah.
it's like working out for me. A lot of times I hear other people express how working out changes their state of mind and their body, and it's something they
Yeah.
need to feel good throughout the week or whatever. And that's pretty much me with music. It's like out of all the art forms that I do, that's the one I need to keep coming back to kind of keep my heart feeling okay, kind of.
Okay, yeah. It can help with like fragrances, like composing, like it can
Oh
inspire
yeah,
you.
oh
Yeah,
yeah,
I get that. That because I don't know if you're familiar with Virgil Abloh. He was like,
yeah,
yeah, he was like a DJ, but it would help him like with creating what is it, making like clothes and like designing clothes and all that.
yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's cool. I'm like, yeah, I'm like, I never saw it in that way. Like, I remember I went back like these yesterday and today because I used to want to be a music producer and I just stopped and I invested so much money into it, but I just stopped. I was like, I'm gonna just take this fragrance route. And I went back to doing it today and I felt like, oh, I like this. Like, I probably won't pursue it anymore, but it feels cool. Like, it's just a hobby. I like doing it.
Yeah,
Yeah. So I just like, I felt good about it. I was like, oh, I like this. And my friend was like, hey, just go back to it. Why not? Like, you don't have to take it serious. I'm like, you're right. Like, it's nothing, you know?
yeah. Yeah, I mean, David Lynch, rest in peace. He was the
Mhm.
guy who got me into art really, and his thing, he painted, he made music, he made movies, he made, furniture, and it's like he was always like, why the hell would you just do one? Like all of them enforce one another to
Yeah.
keep spirit alive. And I'm like, yeah, that's been with me since I was 12 or whatever, and saw the first David Lynch thing I ever saw, and was like, just immediately like, yeah, this I understand this guy because like, same buddy.
Yeah. I feel the same way. Yeah, exactly. It's like, yeah, it's so, yeah, that's literally, it's crazy because that's literally what I was thinking today. I was like, yeah, like, why did I ever just stop him? Like, it can really help me with, like, what I actually kind of want to do, pursue more.
Hmm,
And it's just like a cool thing to do. Like, it's just like, and I don't, I was like, I don't have to be like releasing it and everything. It's just something I do. I like it.
sure, yeah,
Yeah. And I was like, why did I ever stop? It's so dumb. Just whenever I have the time, just hop on, just get in there. And I was like,
yeah,
yeah, so, yeah, I think it's just a good way just to kind of get the mind jogging, just think about the things correlate.
yeah. I keep one of my guitars near my computer, and it's kind of the same thing. If I'm waiting for something to export or whatever, I just grab it and start strumming, and working
Hmm.
chord changes or whatever, working on a particular phrasing or whatever, and it engages another part of your mind that kind of keeps you at an optimal level for engaging the world artistically, and it's really
Yeah.
just an organic, beautiful thing.
Yeah, really, it's like I can definitely relate with that. Yeah, especially recently now. Yeah,
Mm.
but all right, I got like a dog,
Like a dog.
like a dog. I got that.
Yeah, that's
Ah,
the last line in the Kafka novel, The Trial.
I haven't heard of that one. I haven't heard of that. What the?
Yeah, Franz Kafka. Yeah, I have a big poster of him up at my office where I compose, because he's really really something very special to me. His book, The Trial, is basically, in short, it's kind of this story of this man who's accused of a crime that nobody will tell him what the crime is, and kind of all his accusers are faceless, and the judges are kind of faceless, and he's like forever kind of stuck in this cycle of trying to just figure out, like, his life is on hold, like, why, like, I can't, like, what crime is this, who's accusing me, what is going on, and it
Hmm.
through a long period of time like this, and finally, kind of the tail end of the novel, right, he thinks like, well, things might have finally been solved, and he thinks he might be finally rid of this nightmare, because that's what it reads like. It reads like you're just, sometimes when you're having a nightmare or night terror or something like this, there's like just kind of this, like, this labyrinth of, like, uh inescapable dread that you're just kind of trapped within. But at the end, he thinks, "Oh, I'm finally free of this," and two other faceless guys just shove him kind of in an abandoned like space, right? And he like hits
Hmm.
his head on a rock, and he looks up and sees them drawing a gun on him to kill him. And the last line of the book is that, yeah, like a dog, just like
Wow,
the abusive kind of night experience that he's just been through, and
felt like a dog. Like he was
yeah,
getting.
just being dog. Like, yeah, nothing. And uh, that was one of two kind of really kind of dark fragrances that I was thinking about. That one and Oblivion Access. And yeah, like a dog was kind of like one of those things where, yeah, how can I compose a fragrance that is made up of, yeah, all of these kind of darker elements and kind of be a leather based fragrance, but kind of steering away from the buttery, the sweet, the
Yeah.
shiny, the new, and have it be leather that's been beaten, you know, to
Mm,
the breaking point.
yeah. Okay. That's actually a really good like correlation backstory. I like that. That's cool. Except for leather, the leather with that, and it's okay. Yeah, I like that. Okay, let's give it that whiff. Let's see, like a dog. Does it smell like a dog? No, I'm playing. Okay, let's see. Leather. I like leather. Ooh, I can smell it on the air. Okay. Oh yeah. Okay, I like that.
Good.
Yeah, I
Cool.
like that too. This is good. Like a dog. It's a little yeah leather animalic kinda. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Oh yeah. I get that leather animalic kind of combination. Yeah. Okay. I
There's
like this. This is my style.
strong sorts of castoreum that get used. There's one that's often called raspberry castoreum, or sometimes it's just called sweet castoreum, and it's got a lot more of that kind of juicy, edible element to it. And then uh,
Mhm.
a lot of the other castoreum, and in here it's an aged castoreum that I've been using, and really brings out kind of that smoky, kind of tar-like element to the leather that I
Mm.
am very happy about.
Yeah, like a yeah, it does have like that tar. That's one. Yeah, I feel like that's what I couldn't describe. It's kind of like that. Kind of like I can't even put words to it. It's like a. It's good. It's like a leather. Like a I don't know. It's like a leather I haven't smelled because the most of the leathers I've smelled are like those mass appealing leathers that won't really offend.
Yeah, and I'm a big fan of a lot of those. In the
Hmm.
here I've probably got 70 leather fragrances hanging out over there, but
Oh yeah.
I really wanted to, it's tough. You don't find a lot of leather fragrances that are really that worn down. I have a leather jacket that I've been wearing since I was 15 years old, and a lot of times with that I'm like, how do I get this smell? This is what I'm looking for. I want to wear this.
Yeah, like this leather. I want to wear this. Like
Yeah.
yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, I don't want to be wearing I don't want to smell like I just came out of a high end fashion store. I want to smell like I've been doing this and I'm gonna keep doing this. I want to smell like a punk rocker.
Yeah, like just straight leather, like animalic. Like this is me. Yeah, this is yeah. All right, but yeah, I like that one so far. All of them, I think, was it Adam's Lament Peppery? That one
Mhm.
is kind of it smells good, but I wouldn't wear it.
Sure.
Yeah, something I wouldn't wear, but I think you're 4 for 4. Four.
You're very kind. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, who am I to judge? I'm just a person.
Well, same here.
Yeah, I'm
Goofball.
just yeah, just on YouTube. That's it. So let's see. Okay, the one I have here is the Holy Prophet Elijah.
Aha. Yeah. Uh, yeah. One of the coolest saints in the whole canon of. Or what can you say?
Yeah.
There's this cool scene that I was thinking of when I was composing there, where he basically he walks into the king of the land, and
Mhm.
uh, he if you read the Hebrew or the Greek, I guess it doesn't really matter. They're both, but his his speech is like very broken and not great the way that he speaks. Like the king is speaking in this very highfalutin language, and a lot
Uh-huh.
of talks, he just says kind of the equivalent of he says ain't gonna rain no more, and then just leave. It,
Ain't gonna
like
rain no more.
ain't gonna rain no more. Yeah, just
Yeah.
this curse upon the land that saying like
Yeah.
tell you why you messed up. I'm not even gonna. You know why you messed up. This is just it's bad now.
Yeah, it's bad news. It's gonna be bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, pretty. I mean, a lot of they were like illiterate, so like I guess it makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's. Uh,
Insanely. I was thinking about naming the fragrance for a while "Fed by Birds" because that's when he thought that I'm the last one who hasn't turned his back on you kind of thing. He had
oh
Raven
yeah.
for
Uh-huh.
sent odd and delivered kind of weird food into his hands that he was sustained on, and
Yeah.
yeah, I just think he's the coolest. What can I say?
Yeah, that's like your ultimate. Oh, okay. Favorite. Okay. I'd say me. I'm kind of stuck between because my name is Christopher, and I found out the other day there's Saint Christopher, the one that carried Jesus in the back with on his
Yeah,
back. I'm
yeah.
like, he has my name, and that story's cool. Yeah, like I think I like him. I think I like, but Saint George, I love Saint George too.
Oh yeah.
And Spiridon is I love Saint Spiridon.
Mm, mm. Yeah, the patron of my family. Yeah, we have. We're a strange family because we have individual saints and we have a patron saint for the family, which is not common. Usually, the
Mm.
Russians, yeah, or the Serbians will have something called a Slava, and it's just a patron saint for your whole family and the patriarch.
Oh yeah.
So ours is Saint Seraphim of Sarov, which
Mm.
Seraphim stone is
Mm.
but then yeah, my patron, my heavenly patron is Adam, the first man. So
Oh wow. Okay, that's pretty unique. I haven't heard of that.
it's weird. Yeah, when my
Yeah.
gave the name to me, I actually asked him. I probably shouldn't have, but I was just very. I'm a very wear my heart on my sleeve kind of guy, and I said, "Father, is Adam a saint?"
Oh yeah.
Because we mostly know about him, right, from his transgression. I said, is he a saint? And he brought me over to our icon wall that we had at the front of the at the front of the church, and he there's a picture the of the Anastasis, the resurrection. Is Christ is holding Adam's hand and pulling him out of the tomb, and Adam has a big halo. And
Yeah.
he said, "Do you have any other questions?" And I said, "No, Father, that's
Yeah.
fine."
Nope. That's it. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So you're like, okay, okay, yeah. I remember I thought that too until like I asked and I was told. I was like, oh, okay. I remember
Mm,
I thought that. I had that same thought.
yeah.
I was like, I didn't know what the heck. Okay. All right. Let me spray. Let's give it a whiff. Let's see. You can tell me. You can tell me like the notes after. I kind of want to see. Just kind of go blindly.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Two sprays. Man, I can't wait till I step out and come back in my room just to see how it smells in here. Yeah.
Yeah, that's me in my office most days, my friend. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you just come here like, oh wow, I forgot. Like,
Hmm. Especially
okay.
if I'm working on something for a couple days, and I've had all those ingredients out over and over and over and over again. It really gets nice and perfumed.
Oh yeah, definitely. Your room won't stink. Okay. Oh, this one is good. It's like, citrusy to me in my nose, and I get like a citrusy, woody, kind of fluffy feel. I don't know why I get a fluffy feel.
Mm.
It reminds me of from BDK, Gris Charnel.
Oh yeah, nice, very
It-
nice.
yeah, it reminds me of Gris Charnel and with mixed with Diorum 2020.
Oh, I love Dior.
Me too. Dior. Oh, this is my me, this and Gris Charnel. I don't have Gris Charnel. I have a sample, but it reminds me of those two combined but elevated.
Oh, you're kind. You're very kind. Wow.
Yeah, like really, yeah, because like this smells good, but designer. I'm not saying designer is automatically like low tier. It's like this designer has really good like your own parfum. That's a masterpiece,
Mm.
and it's just like I feel like this is kind of like a step up. There's definitely levels, and I
Sure.
feel like this is that more matured mixed with Gris Charnel and that fluffy feel. Kind of, I like this.
Mm. There's
This is something, yeah,
there's a huge dose of orris butter in there, which is probably giving you kind of that fluffy
yeah.
top feel to it, and that's probably the Dior Homme connection a little bit there too. Even though
Hmm.
I think they're using Oris Give Co. in there. They might have some actual Oris butter. I don't know, but I don't. I would doubt it.
Yeah,
But
but
yeah,
it's that's ironic because I really hate like Oris, Iris. I hate that,
yeah.
but I like, for example, Amouage Reflection Man.
Mm,
That one is so good. That is like Oris, Iris forward. It's
mm,
like that's the main thing, but it's such an exception to me because I think it's so like elevated, it's so high quality
mm.
that I like it. And and that's the same thing with this. Like this is like I don't know, like I like it. There's exceptions to it. Like I hate gourmands, but I have gourmand fragrances I like. So it's like I'm very picky. I'm very, I'll say one thing one day, I'll say another the other. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
The my day job where I work as a perfumer for another company. My boss there reminds me countless times that oh, maybe 7 years ago, 8 years ago, or something like that. I had said before I worked for him, I had said I don't like patchouli, but I work
Mhm.
frequently and I use patchouli in so many things, and I love so many patchouli fragrances, and all the time he's just like, I don't know what you meant back then. And I'm like, I
Yeah.
don't like patchouli, like generally,
Yeah.
yeah, it's very important for a lot of things. So I'm not. How can you cast it out? I can't.
Exactly. It's like I don't like cheese, but I like pizza. How can you have pizza without cheese? It's
Yeah.
like it's impossible. It's like that's like a core element. Except for my friend Tristan, my best friend. He's a freak. He takes the, the cheese off and just eats the bread with the sauce. I was at his house yesterday and they got him a special order and they called him, like the pizza place called his house and were like, did you guys make a mistake? Or he's like, no, that's how I want it. I was like, oh.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
I always make fun of him for it, but I'm like, yeah, it's each their own, but it's just funny.
Yeah. 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 I've known very many people who have yeah very specific particularities.
Yeah.
And I'm the same way myself. If you ask my wife if I was a normal person, she would probably laugh very loudly. Yeah. What could
She'd be like, normal?
you met him?
You haven't really met him.
Yeah.
Okay, the next one I got is Call of the Wretched Sea.
Ooh, yeah. That's a the fragrance part of that. Well, I'll tell you that after you smell it. But the name of that, anyways, comes from another really heavy metal band called Ahab. Uh,
Mm,
they're a German. The genre is called funeral doom metal. For whoever cares about that, but it's like just
okay.
slowed down, more heavier, more somber doom metal.
Mhm,
Very and all their music for the longest time was related to Herman Melville's Moby Dick. It's the why they were called Ahab. So the
mhm,
Call of the Wretched Sea was one of the records that was really really important to me in university when I was in university, and it's yeah once again about the pursuit of the great white whale, and
mhm.
that's yeah that was the base inspiration for the fragrance. But I'll tell you what the rest of what's going on in the
Okay.
spray.
All right, let me just get to Splana so you could just say the rest. Yeah, say the rest.
Yes, sir.
I get it open. Okay, there you go. I'm scared to like just go because I don't want it to spill everywhere.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah,
Yes, sample sprayers, man, I tell you, are hard. They're
yeah,
a hard piece to actually get working just right. That's why I also tape them with the tape when I send them out, just because I want to triple check that. I get scared that they're gonna get
yeah.
messed up. They're really tight. You never know. The hermetic seal on the bottles is, something you can check. The
Mhm.
seal on the samples, unless you're doing a 10 mil crimp pencil spray or whatever, you're kind of like best guessing.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like, and you wouldn't want it to like arrive just all spilled. If you
Right.
could smell it outside the package, yeah, bad
Yeah,
sign.
master mode. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, there you go. Two sprays. All right, Call of the Wretched Sea. Let's see. Oh, okay. Oh, this smells like a. Oh wow, I've actually never smelled anything like this before. Actually, okay. I feel. Oh, okay. I feel like I get like that same kind of little fluffy vibe, but
Mm,
with it's a touch sweet.
yeah.
Hmm. Sweet, fluffy. Hmm. I don't know. I always like get this like sense with some fragrances, and I don't know how to explain it, but all I can explain it by is like it's like a long smell.
Mm, mm,
I don't
mm.
know how to,
Yeah.
but it's like a stretched long smell. I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah. Hey, that's cool. That's something kind of I was aiming for. Yeah, because with the funeral doom metal, how long the
Mm.
very slow, very yeah.
Yeah, it's so like I don't know, like it has like this stretch. Like that's the only way I can think of it. It has like this smell.
Mm, mm.
That's cool. I mean, like if you went for that, you definitely achieved it because I I smell it.
Cool. Yeah, the fragrance is principally made up of three things. It's golden ambergris. There's
Mm,
an overdose of golden ambergris in there, and then it's a kind of rare type of myrrh that I've broken down and tinctured. That the myrrh is kind of a lot more rubbery than myrrh usually is, and myrrh
mm,
it has a kind of a latexy kind of quality to it. Myrrh is one of my favorite notes in the world. It's top five for me of all time. I
yeah,
myrrh. I love myrrh, but it doesn't come out in compositions a lot. And
yeah.
I had this. I wouldn't generally call myself somebody who has synesthesia, but I've had a synesthetic experience while burning myrrh in my home,
Mm,
where like when I smell the myrrh that I'm sensing my home with, I can only really smell like a very light blue quality, maybe like a turquoise or like light blue character to it.
oh
And,
wow.
um, for the longest time, I was trying to create something like that. That's basically what this composition is. For the longest time, its code name for me was Blue Myrrh. Uh,
Mm,
and the third thing that's in there is kind of a semi sweet resin that smells a little bit like vanillin actually. And when you combined all three of those together, the massive overdose of ambergris and then the this kind of this kind of rubbery high quality Omani myrrh, and then this sweet resin, you get something that has once I put them all together and had kind of added the extra kind of bass notes in there, I once again achieved that experience for myself, and I thought, holy cow, that's what I was looking for all along, and I brought it home to my wife and I said, "You got to smell this," and she smelled it, and she's like, "Yeah, I don't, cool, like you all the time, like I don't know why this is supposed to be important to me," and I'm like, well, I can't explain. This is the myrrh that I've been hunting for kind of my whole life.
yeah, it's
This
like you wouldn't get it.
yeah.
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 I think this gives me, you know what's crazy? I swear I'm not saying this because you said it, but it gave me a vanillin and burnt plastic vibe. It really, I was gonna say it, but I was like, I don't want him to think I'm an idiot. Like, who's this guy trying to think he knows what he's talking about? So I was
No.
like, I'll kind of save some stuff, but that's kind of what it smells like. I like it. It smells so good.
Mm.
I would definitely wear this. This is like my type of sweet type of like if I'm gonna go if I were to like create a fragrance and go sweet, I'd have like this amount of sweet, like this percentage, really.
Yeah, that's kind of like that's where like Dior Homme Intense, that kind of like sweetness is kind of exactly where I was trying to kind of go with it too, because generally myrrh doesn't have really there's two kind of like I don't know what to call them, subgenus of myrrh that when I've burnt I get a kind of a semi sweet thing from, but usually
Yeah.
you get a lot of that latex. Sometimes you'll get kind of more earthy characters, a little bit of kind of woody notes to it, but usually the latex is the primary kind of character.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, the composition with the overdose of ambergris, it was kind of like, what if we tried to do like Dior Homme Intense, but maybe instead of focusing on the iris flower, we focus on the ambergris. And lo and behold, it was
Yeah.
born.
Yeah. Really. And it I feel like it gives me this vibe of look, I have my little box right here. It gives me a vibe of this right here. I have this blue. I love this one. It's Theophany. It smells like this. And it's blue,
Oh,
ironically. It
yeah,
gives me that vibe. It
nice.
really does.
Wow.
Yeah, like a little touch of sweetness, earthy. Yeah, dude. This is more stronger on that like kind of vibe, but like because it's like literally whole instance. But like I get that. I get that. Like it's crazy.
I'm
That's
thrilled.
crazy to me.
I'm thrilled.
Yeah, literally. That's like what I thought of too immediately when I was like, oh, and I was like literally thinking back to this.
Yeah, I tell you, man, how much myrrh has meant to me. I mean, I think I told you the other night on the phone that the ambergris, when Sultan Pasha had sent me all those different types of the ambergris, he
But
or them over other fragrances to kind of start to see their effects. Well, when you overdose ambergris, when you like yeah, when you add just a ton of ambergris, you kind of start to get this thing where the way you're smelling a note can start to almost invert a little bit. It starts to like open up to like maybe um, kind of the like tail end of the note, if you know what I'm talking about. Like sometimes when you inhale a note at the very end, when you're done breathing in, you get this kind of like extra element of the note at the very tail.
yeah, I
Yeah,
get that when I step outside too. Like I smell something and I step outside to get fresh air. You go, oh, like I could really smell it now.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
and that's kind of what I was hoping to also do with the myrrh is bring out that tenacious um, subtopical element of the.
yeah,
So I just love myrrh, man. I can't. What a
yeah,
beautiful thing.
yeah. Myrrh is amazing. Like amazing. I got my for her birthday, my friend's sister, I got her like a whole incense burner set. And she had like myrrh in there, and I was like, should I be like, I forgot to buy it for you, keep it. I was like, nah, I can't do that. Yeah.
Right.
Because I was like, I love this.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love it too. Yeah. It was like so like it looked really natural. Like I got it from Legacy Icons. I got it from that
Oh,
website.
nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I was like, wow, like this is cool. But I was like, no, she needs it more than me. Like all right, let's see. Now I got the Good Shepherd.
Oh yeah. All right. The Good Shepherd. Yeah. Christ Himself. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
There's an icon called the Good Shepherd that's yeah modeled after, which is a Christ, yeah, carrying a sheep.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Okay, so this is I'm expecting high things from this. You better not fit. No, I'm playing.
Well, I'll tell you right out the gate that the Good Shepherd. I won't tell you the notes until you smell it, but the
Oh,
Good Shepherd most expensive composition to create. Um,
wow.
one out of two compositions that I have currently where I had to sit back with the math for quite a while after because usually I'm not composing thinking about cost of anything. I'm just composing trying to get the fragrance to smell the way I want it to smell, and afterwards then I'll go kind of look at the cost and go either
Mhm.
one of these or a panic. Uh,
Yeah,
and this
yeah,
was where I was like half tempted to say like, well, at least this. Um, because the margins just wind up being really thin, and but I gave the two of them a break just because I love the compositions just too much. I just feel like they should just be a part of the. I feel like if people are smelling phronema perfumes and they don't have access to those, it's kind of like I've spit on my own brand a little. I've rubbed
yeah,
dirt kind of.
yeah. I
So
see what you mean. Yeah, definitely. Like I know, like for me too. Like I kind of want like that's just my ultimate goal to have like my own thing too, and like just learn how to compose. And it's like I would want like to for it to be accessible
mm,
to a whole lot of people. Like not be super like oh it's kind of behind the curtains. You have to be like yeah So
yeah.
yeah, it's kind of that same thing.
Yeah, I had a actually I had I've had brands reach or stores reach out to me before to have my stuff in their um like shops, and I'm like the a lot of times the margins are that they're like the costs the discounted purchase costs that they're looking to secure so that they can have them in the store. I'm like I would be paying you to have them in your shop,
Mhm.
which end of the world, like in the grand scheme of things, but that's why I've turned down everybody so far. I was talking to someone else this morning who was looking to have my work represented in their shop, and they said to me, "Oh, the old school bottle design that you had, which I don't know if you've seen it. There's like these 3D printed caps that are kind of shooting off. They look like little explosions."
Mhm.
He's like, "Those really would have sold very, very well with customers coming into the shop or whatever." And I said to him, kind of the same thing that you just said too. Like, well, yeah, but also like the amount of time it took to get those lids prepared, they just weren't scalable. But even in addition to that, musically, I come from the DIY world, and
Mhm.
I would just I'm interested more so in getting people to be able to have really cool compositions that are like actually quality ingredients than I would care about whatever selling 200 bottles a week or whatever, because um if it's all about the design in the end, like there are brands that I know like that. There's a brand that I know that I really like all of his bottle designs. I think they're some of the coolest things I've seen in a while, but the fragrances are really expensive and I hate the way they smell. So it's like,
Yeah.
what do I do? Uh,
Yeah. Yeah, I see what you mean. And it's just yeah, and one thing I was wondering too is like where can I get those bottles with the cool cap? I've seen them, but I can never find them.
mm,
Like I was looking all over the website everywhere. I was like, well, I can't find it. Like it's all just like the 3D printed one. I was like, oh,
yeah. Yeah, they're
yeah.
just discontinued. Yeah, just I couldn't keep with them anymore because for the ability for people to keep ordering at the rate that they were ordering. And it was a time also in perfume when I discontinued that, where I just kept seeing everybody that I loved was just saying, "I'm sorry, here we're going to be raising prices another 10%. I'm sorry, blah 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 blah." And I'm like, I want to be the opposite of that. I there are ways to cut corners on the bottle, and not make it look so cool, but not cut corners with the juice and still leave people with something amazing. Um, and I get it. Like, there's people like you and I who have like a large collection, and it's cool to be able to show it off and have folks see some zany looking shit that I have in my collection. But also at the end of the day, I would rather some folks be able to smell something absolutely insane and try my hardest to blow their mind with the scent, and just kind of let the caps fall where they will. You know.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, yeah, like at the end of the day, it's the juice. The juice is what matters. And it's just that's something that really like gets me mad all the time. Like reformulations when they do like I'm like for sometimes I'm like sometimes like it's understandable if something's like you can't use certain ingredients anymore or something like okay, I understand. But it's like sometimes they do it just out of like just make more money or
Yeah.
something, and it just like oh that gets me so mad. Like, and I always say it on my lives, and I say it to people that watch it. I'm always like one of my the biggest one is Creed. I hate Creed because they're like $300
Yeah.
and they last 30 minutes. I'm
Yeah.
like, that is like even if I was the richest person in the world, I don't think I'd do it. Like, I'm good with a clone,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
if God willing I ever become as skilled, or like as skilled as you, even like I'd make it myself. you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and their compositions are, a lot of times pretty easy to replicate too. So it's because
Mhm.
they're also so popular too, and so many people have already,
Yeah,
tried. Like, oops.
yeah, exactly. So it's like I'm not about to throw $300 down on something like that. Like, no, it's no. I'm okay with the clones right now. Like, and they do it good. You get a good presentation, quality bottle, quality juice.
Yep.
Like, I'm not super high quality synthetic, but it smells so identical. So it's like it's a no brainer.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. But all right, enough ranting. Let's get to the smell. Let's see. My fans are gonna hate me because I've just been ignoring them. But it's like, man, I gotta understand, man. It's like imagine talking to someone in person. You're just kind of like just ignore them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I smell it out in the air. Okay. Hmm. Okay. Smell it up close. Oh. Ooh, okay. This smells like a. You know what's weird? This almost smells like a Greek parish I went to when I was first inquiring.
Mm.
It was like a little, very little Greek parish, mostly elderly people. I go to one in the city. I live by Houston. I go to one in Houston now. Big, huge, like three priests. It's crazy. But this smells like that little, like that. It smells like. It smells like that. Like I get a lemony type of vibe. What are your thoughts? Lemony type of
Lemony.
incense.
Yeah, I mean incense. There could be. Yeah, I mean it's there's there's raw frankincense resinoid in it for sure. So I mean that you can yeah.
Yeah, I smelled. I definitely smell the incense. Like what I get is like a combination of incense and lemon, just like
Mm,
kind of like the incense surrounding the lemon. Like
mm.
that's what I get. I like this. Another one. I do like this.
Yeah, the one of the big notes in there. Well, there's a few that are really strange that are in there. I'll tell you there's a couple oils in there that are just basically my favorite oils that I have in my office, and so I just started composing with my favorite things. Like there's wool absolute in there, believe it or not. From
Oh wow.
yeah, there's a lot of, and that's the Good Shepherd. Wool absolute in there,
Yeah,
poplar bud absolute. There's ylang ylang absolute.
I
Uh,
think a ylang ylang. That's what I'm getting. I
mm,
think that's what it is.
yeah, yeah. There's also a patchouli absolute in there, which is a little bit different
Mm.
from your typical like dark patchouli or patchouli heart or patchoulol or any of those things. It has really this kind of almost it's not really gourmand, but it is edible kind of again. It has this nice edible nature to it, which there's another note in there called saffron oleo resin, which
Mm.
it's a very unique. A lot of times, the when people are using trying to recreate saffron, there's a couple different. Safraline is one of them. I mean, there's a couple different elements to it. Usually, that's what you're getting in like MFK's oud or um, Dior Oud Ispahan has a little bit of one of those two. I think it's Safraline in that one, or but anyway, the saffron oleo resin has the it's like this very thick red colored uh, oil that has kind of a lot less of the top kind of sharp, really high pitched elements that the safraline and saffron replacers usually have to them, and has kind of this more chewy, waxy nature at the base that I really really just love. Um,
Okay, yeah, I get that kind of. I think I kind of get that waxy feel, like beeswax candles.
yeah, yeah, exactly right. Yeah, yeah.
I get that kind of that with that ylang ylang and that incense. Like it really does smell. Like I'm telling you, it really does smell like that parish. It does. Like really.
Cool.
It
I'm
is. Yeah. Like, have you been there? I feel like you have. You're just lying. I don't know.
I've never been to Texas, so it'd be hard for me to have
Oh
been there.
yeah.
But
To say I have. Yeah.
yeah, the parish that I go to now, it's the one that I was chrismated at, where my son was baptized. All that. It's but
Oh.
uh, the it almost smells like most of the year the incense that they use almost smells like it's literally just frankincense, nothing else added to it, because it's very intense. Yeah, and it's a big white plume that they usually get. Now, some of the other parishes that I visited when I'm out of town or for somebody's name day or whatever,
Yeah.
are I see their scents are going, and you don't quite get that plume. There's no white smoke coming out of it. It's very clear and stuff like that. So
Mhm.
yeah, I wonder sometimes like how much insane variation could there be between these two? Because I feel like whoever the olive boys are in my parish are just scooping it and piling
Yeah.
our
They're
resin.
just
Like let it burn. Yeah,
yeah, not even thinking about it. Just yeah.
yeah,
Exactly. I think that's just the best way. Just see what happens. Just yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I saw in the chat a little while ago. Somebody asked about cheap fragrances. There's a Heyoka frankincense is one of my favorite. resin suppliers on planet Earth. They're amazing. They have their own website and then they have an Etsy page. And guy who runs the shop is just remarkable. And they have their resin is amazing. And he makes I don't think he makes one perfume that I'm aware of, which is literally just black sakura frankincense. It's
Mm.
a tincture or whatever. Comes in a real tiny bottle. It's like $30 for a bottle, and that smells just like my parish. So a lot of times, if I can't get to church for whatever reason, the ice storm that we had or whatever,
Oh yeah.
I'll spray some of that on and you know and light some incense and pray, and it does the soul very good. It's that
Oh
thing.
yeah.
I don't know how that guy sells it for so cheap, but Heyoka frankincense, that's my plug. I love those guys.
Okay, I'll check that out. Hey Yoka, or just send it to me. Send me a link after.
Yeah,
I'll check that out definitely.
yeah, I will. I will. He's amazing. Yeah,
Oh,
he's
that okay.
fond and he's very helpful. If you don't know what you're looking for, he's an extremely knowledgeable man. He knows exactly. He's the goat when it comes to resins, as far as I'm.
That is good to know. I'll probably, maybe, hopefully need that. Yeah,
Yeah, I'll send you his stuff. Yeah, he rules.
definitely. Let me see. Let's see what the chat. I'm just gonna look a little bit because I
Yeah,
don't
you're good.
want. Yeah, I don't want them to be like, I already got. Stop ignoring us. Sorry, this is a different type of stream.
Hmm,
And like the oh yeah, see, look, the numbers fluctuate. They're like up and then yeah,
hmm, hmm.
I don't care. Yeah, whatever. No one's here right now at the moment. All right, next one. Nanonucleonic mint summoning. Long name.
Long name. Yeah, it's the name comes. Yeah, once again, actually, there's another music reference. There's a band that was kind of like over the top technical in like the '90s that were kind of funny called "Behold the Octopus," and I remember the video that we saw for my best buddy and I, who were like dueling guitarists growing up, kind of like friend rival guitarists,
Oh yeah, yeah.
trying to outdo each other with what we could play. And we both saw this video of them. I think Guitar World presented it about this band were playing through one of their songs, and they both showed up and they kind of looked silly. Like I'll, I look silly. I can't mock anybody, so I'm not trying to mock them. But the appearance was just already like a little intense, and they said. We're Behold the Octopus, and we're here to play our song Nanonucleonic Cyborg Summoning from our record Alcoholocaust. And you're like, what is going on?
What
Their
the?
music-
Just do it. All right, whatever.
Yeah, yeah. The bassist, I think, had a Chapman stick or whatever, and he was just like hand tapping the whole thing out. It was just insane. So
Dude, that's cool.
yeah, and the composition. Well, I basically for the whole thing, I won't tell you all the notes, but basically when I was composing that, I had realized that in my or in my office, I had about 35, 36 uh, uh, um, oils that had something to do with mint that were related to mint somehow, and I don't
Mm.
typically think of people having that interesting of mint compositions. I think mint is one of the most like ignored fragrance notes because of the fact that it reminds a lot of people of toothpaste or whatever.
Yeah.
Uh, and so I basically said, how do we make a really extreme, like chaotically extreme mint fragrance from the perspective of Behold the Octopus doing their little doodly 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 thing?
Yeah, okay, I feel like if it's extreme, man, I might get blown into another dimension or something. Just like, mint concentrate. All right, let's
Yeah.
see. Let's get a feel for that because I like mint. I think mint is really good. It really gives you like a elevated feel. Like
Mm,
one I have is Hugo Boss, just different, and it has mint and green apple,
mm.
and it just smells like you smell it, and it's like oh, like it's a feel good. Like it's very fresh, minty. I like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
So
That's
it's like,
Cartier had Roadster a while back in Roadster Sport, and those were my jam. The same guy who I played guitar with for so long, he wore that really frequently, and that was like his signature thing for a long while. And they discontinued it. Those sons of guns over at Cartier are now just ignoring their masterpieces. How dare they?
yeah, that's a trend that happens with houses too. They just ignore their masterpieces. Yeah. Can't. I don't get it either. All right, let's get a spray of nanonucleonic mint summoning. Let's see. All right, two sprays. That should be enough, I think.
Mm,
Oh yeah, yeah. This is mint. Oh, okay. I like this. This reminds me. This is a little nostalgic to me.
mm,
Okay, I'll tell you why. I like this. This is a very, to me, easygoing mint.
mm.
It smells like, so when I used to live in California, was born and raised there, lived there all my life. Moved here in Texas like 5 years ago,
Yeah.
and my best friend, he's still my best friend, he's like a brother to me. In his backyard, his grandma has this huge garden with just a bunch of stuff, and she has like rosemary, mint, cilantro, like coriander, and all these things, you know. And it's just like, I remember like it was just this pot. It was just a bunch of mint in it. That's literally what it reminds me of. I remember I used to go and smell it
Mm.
and tear leaves off and like break it so I could smell it better, and they'd get mad, but I just wanted to smell it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what it reminds me of.
Yeah, the funny thing is that juice too is the only juice that does this, but it looks like when I mix it all and I put the ethanol in. Once you put the ethanol in, it looks like neon. It like almost feels like it
Mhm.
can glow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Look
look at.
at that. Dude, this is like, I don't know if I want to put this on radioactive, or I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like scary.
it's yeah, it's insane the amount of things that have relationships to mint. I was startled when I looked at all of it. Yeah, believe it or not, there's like rose, labdanum, mint, yeah, like you said, thyme, coriander, a lot of stuff like that is all in there because when you look at the like GCMS on whatever particular oil, some of them have this like high concentration of like 50% of shared oils with the mint oil. Um,
Oh, wow.
so I went about basically trying to use that as the center and have all these other notes kind of like be showing these tiny facets of mint that maybe people aren't really so accustomed to because they get this kind of like poor man's P and G mint garbage. Well, that's
Yeah.
even mint. You don't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Exactly. And like, yeah. So this one, you gave him something like, okay, no, like this is mint.
Yeah.
Like you went to them like, no, 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 this is mint. Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
please give Mint a chance. We're gonna really just go hammy with it and give you something that really represents all these different elements of what mint can be. Yeah, and I mean, I love the idea of the garden that you're talking about there with all these because like that was usually, I mean, that was my thing too, smelling all of these flowers in the sun baked backyards of all these yeah, usually beautiful grandmas that I knew, when moms sometimes, but grandmas, and they have their lavender that they're taking care of, and
Yeah.
uh, you know, wow,
And yeah, yeah, it was beautiful. Like she passed away about like 3 4 years ago. God rest her soul. And he still does to this day. Like water her. Like he keeps up with them. Like that's amazing. Good, keep up with it. Like it's still nice and healthy.
yeah,
He's like, yeah. He's like, you're not gonna let that die. Like you're
yeah,
not gonna let that. Yeah. And I'm like, yeah. Like I hope I'm gonna ask him. I'll be like, do you guys still have that mint pot? Like just send me a picture. Yeah, because it's so nostalgic to me. Like this is just like took me. Like, have you ever seen that scene in Ratatouille when he takes a bite and it takes it back? Yeah,
yeah.
that's literally what I got with. Like,
Oh,
oh
I'm so happy, man. Yeah.
yeah, dude. Like that's what I got with this
Hmm,
mint. That's crazy, and I didn't think about like that when you were talking about mint. I didn't think about that till I smelled it. I was like, oh, that's right. Like it was so in the back of my mind,
hmm.
that whole experience.
Wow, wow.
But yeah, it takes me back. I have okay, and now I have Holy Cave of Holy Cave.
Oh, whoops. Did I mistype that? Yeah. Holy Cave of the Apocalypse is what it should have been, man. I probably was just
Oh, it's fine.
asleep at the wheel. Holy Cave of the Apocalypse. Yeah.
Oh, okay, holy. Yeah, I remember. I remember it being like when I was ordering it, I saw and I was like, because you had to type it out, and I was like, okay, I remember it. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh Yeah, funny enough, I'll tell you. I won't spoil the composition again for you. But when
Okay.
working on this, before you apply the ethanol to the raw oil of that one is thicker than molasses. You can tilt the whole
Mm,
amp around that has the material sitting in it, and
mhm.
it won't slide down the side. You can have it upside down, and it won't drip out because it's so thick. Uh,
Oh my.
so that's the amount of raw, like resinous material that's in there initially from tinctures, just because it's what the composition demands. And I'll tell you one other funny thing about this one before you smell it is that this almost almost the entirety of the composition actually came to me in a dream. I was
Oh,
dreaming.
okay.
I usually don't dream very frequently. Actually, well, I do, but I don't remember them.
Yeah.
Um, but I had to tweak it a little bit from the way that it was in my dream. But I had in a dream I was working on a perfume, and the perfume that I was working on was this perfume, and I remember just painstakingly working on it over and over and over and over again. And like in that, towards the end of the dream, I gone, oh, this, I smelled it and I said, oh, it's perfect this time. And I woke up and I just left my bedroom in a hurry and ran downstairs, not waking the wife or child, but ran downstairs and got my notepad and pen and I wrote down what happened in my dream, what ingredients, and then like a guess as to how much of the composition it should be. And went to the office and I had to adjust it 5 times in total, which for me is not a lot of.
Yeah.
And then it was
Does it doesn't sound like a lot because I've heard of people that had to do it like 1,000 times. Like
yeah, yeah.
I'm just yeah, and I'm just like oof, like that thing better smell amazing, or to you at least.
Better be happy with that after 1,000 times, or
Yeah,
that's rough.
yeah, that's insane. Like this better be groundbreaking. Send a new trend. Because oh wow,
Blue Trend Part Two.
yeah, the blue trend part two. Yeah. All right, let's get this. Oh, there you go. Ooh, this is very earthy.
Hmm.
Oh, I like. Okay, I don't like earthy, but I like this earthy. Hold on,
Wow.
because I'll tell you why. I get this like aura around it of like it doesn't smell like menthol, but it has that feel,
Mm, mm.
like that cooling feel. Like
Yeah,
I've said that about a couple fragrances too, where it's like those fragrances that have like this like just barrier around it that has this cooling effect. Not like menthol, it doesn't smell like menthol, but it's like menthol. And then
sure.
like you go deeper and you get that earthiness,
Yeah,
that earthy kind of tight smell.
yeah, yeah. It's kind of
Mm.
walk in a cave, yeah, and you feel the temperature just go from like this to somehow.
Yes, this smells cold.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, yeah, exactly right.
Oh, wow, and it's crazy because in the Alchemy of Scent, it hits on that of like feelings, smell feelings, techniques. Like
Mm.
I'm like that's so cool. Like I've always thought like oh it smells like this, smells like that, but I never really put feeling into it. Like something can smell how something like a feeling.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, I was forever with Guerlain's L'air Bleu, like trying to understand because it's supposed to be the scent of melancholy. I don't get that. It
Mhm.
smells. I love it. I think it's an amazing composition, but it's never. But I've felt this obsession for a long time. Like, man, I would really love to have a perfume where you smell it and you just like you don't get depressed, but you just get kind of like, ah, man, ah, that's a bummer. Magic
Yeah,
fragrance. I
yeah. Like you get the bottle, you're like I'm sorry. Like
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I would love to do something like that. Yeah.
Definitely like this smells like really like I just like if I were like a hermit and I was in a cave and I stepped outside and just you
Mm,
know
mhm,
literally that's kind of what it's like. I
mm.
was like, oh, this is good. I like this.
Oh man.
On this might be one of the best. Like here, I'm not even gonna lie. Wow, like
Yeah,
this is like
I
this
was.
is a.
I'm so sorry. Go for it. I'm so sorry.
Oh, you're good. It doesn't matter. It's just for what it smells like. This is versatile to me. I don't know why. Like this is
Mm,
an all year type of fragrance.
mm.
I don't know. Like it feels like I can wear it anytime, any occasion. I don't know why.
I'd be happy wearing it anytime, any occasion.
Yeah, yeah. Like I don't care. Like
Yeah,
I'm like,
I really had to. I mean, that's the inspiration behind the fragrance, right? Is that yeah, the cave where the holy apostle John wrote the book of the Apocalypse or the book of Revelation.
oh yeah.
And yeah, so it's the overall composition is like 65% raw frankincense resinoid in there. You
Mm,
don't smell it as much. It's funny because like you don't the you would expect like the 65 and up range. You'd expect over 50% of a composition of frankincense to just smell like you're going to church, but
yeah.
the amount the accord of the kind of like mineral, earthy stalactite cave kind of thing was so overpowering that I feel like you could drop it into almost anything and it would just the fragrance would just become that. So I had to do so much to try
Yeah.
to down. That was the biggest part from the dream was like how much I had composed this cave thing to be in my dream was
Hmm.
brutal. I couldn't deal with it when I first composed it. I was like, "Holy smokes, that's all I can smell. It's on me. I can't get away from it. This is a nightmare."
Yeah. It's like get off, get off. Yeah, you can't get it off.
Yeah. It was intense, man. It really was. It was very, very brutal.
Hyper focus. Yeah. I think this. Oh, it gives me like that wet dirt or gravel smell too. Like
Yeah.
ooh, I like that. Like
I'm
this
so
just smells
sorry.
like it. It just makes me feel like like I don't know.
Sorry, I was plugging in my phone here. It was telling harassing me about the battery a little bit, so I was
Oh, it's cool.
plugged it in. Uh
But yeah, that's what I get. Like it gives me like that breath of fresh air, like a,
mm,
like
mm,
yeah, I
mm.
like that.
Yeah,
Definitely
more than
cave like.
yeah, yeah, more than a couple perfumers had put like fresh mountain air in their compositions. I love that
Yeah,
idea. I have no
uh,
idea what that accord could be like, but I do love that idea. I think it's gorgeous.
exactly. It's like I don't know. Like how would you even like? Obviously, for me, I wouldn't be able to think of like where to start to like
Mm.
want to like make something like that. It's like okay, because I'm not even familiar with all my raw materials I have down here. I don't know if you can see them.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm not
Nice.
even familiar with all of them. I think where am I at? I have all these dilutions here. So I have aldehyde C18, no 20%. I have dihydromercenol, 20%. And I have way more Aquinol. I just finished writing down my right here. I'm right here. This I don't know, like I don't know. With amyl it lasted like 2 days.
Yeah.
20%. Yeah,
Yeah.
I wrote my whole thing right here.
Nice.
Yeah, and it says so on the first 2 minutes. So I go from 2 minutes, 15 minutes, 3 hours a day, and then 11 days as like a thing. Like I'll come back to it, but I'll smell it throughout the days. But at 11 days, like that
Sure.
threshold.
Sure.
And at the 2 minutes, I got like a floral green rubber type of
Mm,
smell.
mm,
And then I kind of got the same thing throughout the whole time. A day still present, and then 3 days it was just gone. It smells like nothing.
mm.
I get absolutely nothing. So it's a mid note, I guess. Would you classify it as that?
Yeah, I think that's fair. Yeah.
Yeah, 3 days. It's like less than a day top note, less than a week mid note, and then beyond that I'd say base. But I don't know. It's I guess the lines are blurry.
They get very blurry, and there's I mean the other problem is that some people have created or have discovered or however we want to talk about it synthetic boosters, synthetic notes of all sorts that
Hmm.
um, will take a note that is traditionally understood to be a top note and now makes it
Hmm.
last. Like, I mean, that's kind of what Zerjoff's Neo is all about. I mean, that's a lot of people are interested in trying to replicate something like that, where you have a bergamot note that just like doesn't stop because they want to have that. They want to have that experience of bergamot lasting all day or whatever. Well, if you're using traditional bergamot, that's just not going to happen.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
yeah.
And I think yeah, I wasn't a fan of Neo. I got a sample of it. I
Mm,
didn't like Zherzhov's Neo because I think well cilantro is what's called in Spanish, but coriander, it
mm,
smelled way too much like it for me. Like I
mm,
don't know if that's a note in there, but that's exactly what it smelled like to me. and it was a very long lasting. It was. I'm like, they hit
Yeah,
that. I like that, but I wish I liked it. I wish I
yeah,
liked it. I
yeah,
tried to, and I was like, I just can't. I like the name, the bottle, the concept, but the smell at the end of the day, that's what matters. And I just didn't. I was like, I appreciate it, but I wish it was for me, but it's not. So, can you do?
yeah. What can you do? Yeah, that's been me with a lot of fragrances throughout my whole life. Like, really, really being into the concept to the point that I'm like, if it comes like 1/10 of what's in my mind, I'm ready to accept it for everything's,
Yeah,
for all its faults, and just call it a masterpiece. And it comes in the mail, and I smell it, and I'm like, so
yeah,
close.
yeah. It's just like, oh, and it gets me mad too because like everybody's talking about it, like, oh, this is so good. Bam, bam. This has this, this, and that. Amazing. And I'm like, I don't see that. And then like I always get roasted in the comments or like when I go live. I go live a lot,
Mm.
and like everybody's always roasting me, like, how can you not like Jean Paul Gaultier, bro? You have horrible taste. How do you not like Iris? I'm like, I wish I did. Trust me, I just don't get the hype. I
Yeah,
don't understand. I don't
yeah,
get it. And it's like the only ones I like is like Elixir, Jean Paul Gaultier, Elixir, and LeBeau. Like that's it. This is the most I'll go for those. Really, I don't like any others. It just smells like sweet shaving foam.
yeah, yeah. I've never understood Lamal or Lamal
Yeah,
Extreme or whatever. It's all it's a head scratcher for me. It feels like one of those things that maybe if I was French I would understand it, but I'm not, and
yeah,
I don't pretend to be. I can't
exactly. Yeah.
pronounce half the French words. I'm a I'm a Finnish brute, so I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, funnily I'm learning French because I told you I wanted to go to that
Mm,
school.
mm,
Hopefully, God willing, I can. But yeah, it's just like I always try to act like I am French. Like I act with but I'm not. It's just playing around. I like act with my dad. He's
mm.
like, "You're not European. You're not even close to that. Look at you." I'm like, "Yeah, no, I'm just playing."
Oh, oui, oui, come here, Fazil. Smell this.
Yeah, it smells these. It's all exquisite. And when you tell them, you don't like. For example, my French teacher, she was like, I told her like how her New Year's and everything was. She's like, oh, I went to this Michelin star Indian restaurant and everything. I'm like, oh, that's cool. I don't like Indian food, but that's cool. And then she was like, whoa, 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 like, how do you not? She's like, you probably had Southern Indian food. This is Northern Indian food. It's so good. She's like, no, it has a Michelin star. This is and that. I'm like, that's great, but it doesn't mean I'm gonna like it. Like, she
Yeah.
got so mad. You can't have an opinion. You can't.
Yeah, this has been approved, okay? You rube. You have
Yeah,
to you
it's
have to like it. It's been approved.
exactly, yeah, and I'm just like, ah, whatever. Yeah, I just let her rant, and I was like, okay, let's get on with the class. Let's get on
Yeah.
with the class.
Yeah.
It was funny, but I saved the best for last because the
Uh-oh.
color intrigued me. You might have seen it already. Desert water,
Mm.
completely black. I saved that for last.
Yep, desert water. Yeah. Named
Oof.
for Saint Anthony the Great. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's my godfather's patron saint, and
Nice.
uh, he does not he doesn't wear perfume at all, so I couldn't really even give him a bottle and say here you go,
Mhm.
because he's not really interested in it. But
Oh yeah.
I became friends with a young Catholic lady on
Mhm.
Instagram, who
Mm.
is I think she is a handmaiden or serves in some capacity at her church, and
Mhm.
she did a write up for the year of 2024, and God bless her. She was so kind. She included desert water as one of her favorites of last year, and that's the first time I've gotten a write up of anything kind of like that. So I was really humbled by that. So I really like it. I've not heard an awful lot of people's reactions to it until that happened, and that
Okay.
pretty much floored me. So what can I say? Saint Anthony,
Okay.
help us.
Yeah, please. Yeah, pray for us. I hope I like it because I don't know. It just looks like you went to the desert and just whoosh, and just plucked it up like this.
Yeah,
That's what it's staining. I see it staining right there. I'm like, oh, this is scary. This is
it is
scary to
scary.
see.
That's the one I said. When people put it on, they get they say it's tacky. They say
Uh,
it's very thick. They say it's very like sticky.
yeah. Okay. All right. Let's see. It's. I mean, I feel like it's sticking everywhere in here. Let's see. Okay. Oh, okay. This might not leave my room for a month. Let's see. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Can I smell it in the air? I think I do. I don't know what I smell. Okay. Let's get in there. Oh, okay. It smells like how it looks.
Yeah.
Yeah. It smells like a hmm. I can't really put my finger on it. What does it smell like? I mean,
Yeah,
but what does it
yeah,
smell like?
yeah. A lot of like Douglas fir, silver fir. A lot of these kind of like big coniferous trees. There's a lot of those in there.
Mm,
Um, the Douglas fir absolutes in there. There's black hemlock is in there, which is like which is yeah, another really dark coniferous tree. There's raw frankincense is in there. Green hojari frankincense is
mm,
part of that composition. So it's kind of like yeah, it's kind of a lot of like these heavier, thicker, more Scandinavian, Nordic trees, plus their sap, plus the resins that are holy
mm,
resins like frankincense. That's a big portion of it because you
mhm,
know Saint Anthony. But then there's also a little bit of kind of some warming material to it. There's ambergris also in it, and
mm,
very interested in trying to bring this kind of like you know the forest of the desert alive because basically Russian monks and Scandinavian monks and things of that folks who live up north they don't have a dry sandy desert to escape to, so their desert is the desert of forests.
mhm.
Since I'm Scandinavian, since I'm Finnish, well, I won't call myself Scandinavian. I take that back. I'm Finnish. But anyways,
Yeah.
that's when I think of the desert. That's what I'm able to understand it intellectually as. So
Okay. And I feel like that's why probably I couldn't pinpoint it because it's like I've never heard of those trees. I've
mm,
never smelled nothing. So
mm.
okay. And that's cool. So
Yeah,
it's more like you went kind of went back to that, like kind of like you're kind of roots, I'd say, kind of, and then kind of took that whole like, Orthodox type of route with it too. Okay.
yeah, very, very invested in because yeah, my grandparents are very, my grandparents are like I don't know how to say it not offensively, kind of they're like off the boat, right? And
Mm. Okay.
like I was born and grew up in the smaller part of my childhood in Denver, Colorado, and
Mm.
thick forests around, and that's what I'm used to. Kind of that's what is in a lot of ways comforting to me. So for kind of the first interview that I did with anybody, I did with Beth from Fragrantica. She's amazing. Shout out Beth. And
Okay.
one of the things she asked me, I don't know why she asked me, but she asked me what some of my favorite compositions were, and one of them was the Norn oil from Slumber House. I really hate to give Slumber House credit because, well, I kind of I think the brand is awful because they their perfumer Josh Lobb is a great perfumer, but he really hates everybody. It seems like who actually cares about his work. So he like
Mm.
will release like 3 bottles at midnight, and people will get it, and they'll be upset, and he'll give free bottles to his friends, and then he won't sell anything for a long period of time, and he'll come up with random one-off compositions that he'll release 1 bottle out there, and it's just like he's just very frustrating and
Mm.
kind of the opposite of what I want to do, where I'm interested in uh, not gatekeeping. I'm interested in getting
Yeah.
folks to understand why Sun is a great band. Let's listen to Sun. We don't need to have just
Mm.
you know goofballs like me sitting around listening to it. It'd be great for everybody. Let's get some education going on. Let's engage with things that seem to be too hard.
Hmm.
And so, anyways, Norn. Besides all that, the Norn oil was one of the first places I really felt kind of at home in that kind of
Hmm.
coniferous space. And so desert water is also somewhat maybe my tribute to that, even though it's begrudgingly so because I really don't want to promote the brand really at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that.
But yeah, I guess yeah, I see what you mean. Give credit, at least credit where credit is due. Good
Mm.
job there, I guess, but doesn't mean you affirm all of it. So
Yeah, that's right.
yeah. But yeah, I think like what you're doing is just so like good. I feel like I don't want to say like I feel like what you're doing is kind of like literally like what I've been like thinking. Like even like before I met you, I'm like, like kind of want to do these types of things, these types. And not to say like you're just like me. Like no, no, no. But it's just like similar. That's kind of why I really like it. It's like, oh, it's so similar to like kind of like some ideas I had. Oh, I have. And it's just like that's so cool. That's why it's just like that's why I was like, I need to message this guy right away. Like I need to yeah, like when they told me about it, because they're always telling me like putting me on things in the chat, and I'm like, oh, okay, that sounds cool. I go on right here on my laptop, I search it up, and I'm looking. I was like, oh, I was like, okay. I was like, okay, let's see. And I was like, does he have like social media or something? And then I found it. I was like, okay, perfect. And yeah,
That's great. Yeah, I'm really bad at engaging like through text. Like I won't text my friends. I'm very bad about it because I just don't uh, like it doesn't grab my mind to be
mhm,
in contact with folks that way. And I set up the Instagram account basically because I hate Facebook and I was trying to get away from Facebook and but I was still trying to keep an avenue forward that wasn't just the email form on the website so I could help people if I needed to. And I'm thrilled, man. I'm thrilled to connect with you. And I like, yeah. I mean, anybody who sees the website or sees John Beeble's amazing write up, like, know that I'm just truth and method. That's a philosophy text from the you know early part of the
mhm,
21st, latter part of the 20th century, and
mhm.
from Germany. And it's like then I've got comic books that I like, Japanese
Oh, yeah,
comics and.
the whole
Um,
library. Yeah, I have a little one too, like a very little one. I'm just like a baby library right there. The whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah,
But
and I mean, you just take influence from everything, man. It's like
yeah.
grew up listening to heaviest music under the sun, became
Mhm,
Orthodox, have all this stuff, and I just like I'm just the sum total of all the friends that I've made along the way.
mhm. Of all the experiences, I'm like, yeah. I feel like I've had the same thing too. Like I went through my I guess I'd call it like an emo phase, but I still kind of like some of the music. It's cool. It's like, oh, you think back, like it's very artsy. Like it's pretty cool. And it's just like I'm all over the place with that. With a lot of things. I'm all over the place. Like if it's good, I like it. I'm not like so just dedicated to one lane.
Yeah,
Like, it's like if it's good, I like it. Like, for example, with fragrances, like if a gourmand is good and I like it, I like it. I'm not completely stuck on like I only like this type of fragrance and like this, like no,
yeah.
like and that's just kind of how it is. Did he freeze?
Well, I don't think so. Am I
Oh, there you
back?
go. Yeah, you're back. You're back. There you go.
Okay, I'm so sorry about that.
Oh, you're good. You're good. You're good.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. Yeah, if it's good, it's good.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna put rigid whatever in place and hate on something awesome just because I said no. I'm never gonna like a rose fragrance or whatever.
Yeah. Exactly. Like, oh, like I don't like that. Like, no, that's not my lane. So like it smells good, but I can't like it. Like, no, that's so dumb. It's like exactly. It's like I'm all over the place with those types of things. So it's like, yeah, I feel like I kind of went down this like similar route pretty much, like
Mm.
just trying to draw inspiration from a bunch of things to do things and like yeah, and it's just and I guess just like as a little teaser for whoever's here, I'm looking into wanting to release like merchandise like clothes and put it on my YouTube and make like a little Shopify website stuff. I'm looking into that. It's just in the making, early stages, very
Right.
early. So yeah, we'll just see what happens with that. Really, yeah. Maybe I could fail or succeed. Who knows? And
Yeah,
what about you,
I
dude?
don't know how I've gotten anything to ever happen, so it's worth a shot. I have
Yeah,
no,
I feel like that's what everybody says. It's like, okay, how did it happen? Like when you ask me, it's like, I just kind of did it, and that's it. Like that's really it.
yeah, yeah, I have no idea. It's uh it's also the I mean, like, I'm a self-taught musician and stuff like that. How did I think, pretty much every time I've been to the studio to record anything with almost anybody, um, I've seen them play and stuff and been like, "I have no idea why I'm here with you, like, you guys are so much better than I am," and I feel like I don't know what I'm doing because 'cause I've never had, I'm not, like, under the wing of a teacher of some sort, so because I'm all self-taught, I'm like,
Mhm.
I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just trying my hardest here to make something that
Yeah.
represents, something good and gives people the ability to experience something good, or maybe helps lead people to somebody better, or something like that. Just helps people along. So
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's like I could kind of, yeah, I know what you mean. Like it's like, whoa, like this guy's so good. Like what am I doing? Like it's like
yeah,
what the heck? Yeah,
yeah,
they're like,
pretty
no,
much.
you're okay, bro. It's like, "Nah, sure. I mean, I don't know. Like, all right, but yeah, like really, like, and then with the texting thing too, I'm kind of like that too. I'm like kind of sometimes like so it's like kind of like even with some of my fans, they're like, oh, let me know when you go live. Like they ask me to go live, and I forget, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm live. I'm live. I'm sorry,
Mm,
and it's
mm,
just like,
mm.
yeah, forget.
Yeah,
Yeah, but yeah, man, it was like these really good, man. I'm gonna have to buy a full bottle. I'm gonna see which one I want to buy a full bottle of. I'll probably like a lot of them, but like just which one first. I'm gonna be
yeah,
smelling,
sure.
which one do I really want first? But yeah, they're really good.
Wow, you're very, very kind. Yeah, thank you for having me on too. I'm jazzed to be able to talk with you, man. I really appreciate everything you're doing, and
Yeah,
uh,
thank you, bro. You too. Like really, like I'm glad I met you, man. Especially because like I really want to do this whole. I do want to do like this whole perfumery thing too. So like, blessing, really.
yeah, yeah, hit me up. I'm around. Just if I don't respond within whatever period of time, hit me up
Mhm.
again. It's not a bother.
Okay, yeah.
I'm just slow.
Okay, yeah, yeah. I mean, same here. It's no problem, man. Really, I'm the same.
All right, man. Well, thank you again, and if you want to do this again sometime, let me know.
Yeah,
I'll shoot you some more stuff. We'll see what we need to make happen. I can, if you, I'm bad at remembering stuff. So if you remind me of what I sent to you, I can get the rest of the collection out to you, and just shoot me a message, and we could
yeah,
always do this again sometime. That'd be cool.
yeah. Definitely, man. I'll shoot you a text after, and like we could see, kind of organize, see, and yeah, just talk about it. And yeah, man, it was great, man. Really, it was great having you on.
Oh,
I was
thank
like, I
you.
was really looking forward to this, man. I was really looking forward to this. Like, I can't wait to smell him. I can't wait to like see what he in the background. What he like? What was he thinking? And everything. Like, yeah, like so many things going through my head. Really
No,
looking forward.
yeah, likewise. I think this has been awesome.
Yeah, definitely, man. And if like whoever's here, it's like go check out his perfumes. Really, his Etsy. I think I'll leave because you can upload the live. I'll leave your link somewhere for your Etsy
Okay.
shop.
Yeah,
Definitely.
you can also. Yeah, I've got my website too. You can send them either which way. They've got access to everything on both. The
Oh
reason I
yeah.
have both actually is just because Squarespace limits some countries that you can't send to, and so does Etsy, but they're not the same countries. So if you
Mm.
have both, you can pretty much help almost anybody out.
Oh yeah.
Because I get messages like that all the time where people like, you don't send X country, and I go, yeah, I do. You're just going to the wrong website. Try the other one.
Yeah.
It'll get you
It's like
gold.
not that one. That one. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's annoying, but it works.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. But yeah, man, these were great. These were amazing. Really, like it felt really good to smell them. Really.
You're very kind. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, of course, man. And thank you so much. And I'm sorry to the fans. I know it was a different stream, but oh well.
All right. You have a great evening. Thank you again, and we'll talk soon.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you.
All right. All right. Take care.
Take care, man.